Hey everybody, I'm in Lower Guk. It is the end of vanilla EQ on the P99 green server, so it's still in the era. Sky came out maybe a month ago, and Kunark comes out in about a month. I'm a level 50 Necro on Vax machines, and I've been hanging out in Guck for a while, and I wanted to just run through it and show off some of these cool old world zones. And I've gotten pretty familiar with really both sides, but I know Dead Side really well now, I think. And it's an incredibly popular, lucrative zone. It's also quite dangerous. Um, I was level 50 max when I started, and then I died all the way down until de-leveling to 49, and now I'm back up to 50 and a half. So, and I feel like I am pretty good at it. So, yeah, it's tough. But yeah, so as a Necro, you can kind of run through pretty safely. I mean, obviously with Feign Death helps a lot. Um, so I'm at the main entrance. There is a dead side entrance and a live side entrance. I think there's a couple dead side entrances, but this is the main one that most people go to. There's actually a couple non-undead mobs here that you have to regular invis past. I think they're dead. Yeah, one's like right here, and another one's like right here, but they're both dead. So really, you got to regular invis or kill them. They're not that hard. All the way to about right here, and then from here on out, on dead side anyway, all you need is IV. And there's a potion called Potion of Undead Life Awareness, I think is what it's called. Or of Undead Awareness, something of Unlife Awareness. Potion of Unlife Awareness. So if you're a melee class, you can get down here. So this is the way you go. You take a right. I think when you go left, that's like some underwater passages to other upper Guk entrances, but there's nothing really over that way. At least maybe there's like a couple quest items, but there's no named or anything that way. So you go down this tunnel. This is all undead, just about. So as long as you don't make any wrong turns, you'll be fine. So you have this underwater tunnel, and you go. I always get stuck on it every time. You go under this little cave, and then you pop out in what's known as bedroom. And there's no names here, but this is a really good experience camp. Bedroom, because see, there's a bed. But I didn't think undead slept, so whatever. Anyway, but to get, the bedroom is kind of good for experience and low level. Like these are all green, very green. Like they're not even light blue green. Well, like there you go. Yeah. So take the left, and then take another left in this bat room. These bats can see you, but they're so level they don't aggro. So be careful. Like hug left, and you'll see these undead skeletons, which can't see you because they are undead, obviously. And then you just follow it around, and here you are. So this is a very popular spot. This is right across from the first name spots here, which is Ritualist, which is, I think the pH is down. I think it would be right here. And he drops this, which is probably maybe the best in. I don't have the other one, I don't think. Believe it or not, this is the best shoulders in P99, or in vanilla P99 droppable pre-planer. So worth about 500. And then he drops some sleeves, which are similar, but they're not better than gear scale, so they're not worth quite as much. But anyway, so the Ritualist spawns right here. There's a 28-minute spawn in Lower Guk. So this one is, things are pretty low level here. Like this is all very green to me. They're probably level 30 or so. But to split this one, you're gonna need to be able to split in Lower Guk quite a bit, or be like pretty high level. So kind of the interesting thing about this one is this left one, if you pull it, a lot of times it aggroes these gargoyles, and there's one here and here, so you get 5 with that one pull. But so if you lull this one, you can usually pull the Ritualist with just this one. But usually I just lull both of these. So obviously you'll need a lull. Yep, but he's pretty easy. Spawns Ritualist. The next one is you come around through these rooms here. There's, I think, 2 mobs up this ladder, but nobody kills them because they're just, I mean, if you're an experienced group, you would, but they're just non-named sort of guards or whatever. Yes, and then, so you come around, oh yeah, I forgot this. Here, this is gargoyles, and then I think this just swings back around to the, you know, bats and stuff over here. These are not undead, so watch out for them. They will aggro you. But behind this door is a tunnel down to live side. That's the best way to get there. So yeah, so you'd have to run through them. These are green, so like I usually just run through them. And although that's a light blue technically, light blue doesn't exist on green yet, or maybe ever. But so yeah, that one's a little higher. So up here, this is quite a good camp. This is called Ass Up, which is Assassin Supplier. The Thick Banded Belts drops here the Mask of Deceit and Mask of Deception before when it starts, the one that turns you into a Dark Elf, but it no longer drops. The other one that drops now is just for bards and rogues. Yeah, so there are 3 mobs that spawn up here. This one is the Supplier, and I've killed them all, but to be honest, there's one that spawns on this side, and then one that spawns on this side. I don't actually know which one's the Assassin. So, yeah, it's one of the 2. So there are 3 mobs that spawn up here. It's actually, you know, they're still low level, but you got to be able to split them. If it's full pop, like, you can maybe get a target as a gnome, and it's great in Lower Guk. You can see through the walls, which is kind of like obviously not intended, but it makes gnomes amazing. So you see, I can see like the lower floors and stuff. You kind of have to have a clear line of sight, but for some reason it like doesn't. Yeah, I can see all the way down into Sage. Anyway, yes. So yeah, sometimes you can get a target. You target a wand, ghoul, and if it's the there's nothing up there, but like it will target the nearest one, and then you don't actually need line of sight for lull, so then you can just do it. See, I don't actually know where this one is, but I can just do it, assuming it's in range. See, I don't even know what I'm casting this on, so hopefully it doesn't fail. Yeah. Yes, so there you go. That is Assassin Supplier. Oh yeah, the Supplier drops this bag. Come on, bag it out. Light burlap sack, really good. 65 weight reduction bag. This drops on the other side. The eye drops that, and the Thick Banded Belt, which is worth 2k or so. So really good. So it's kind of like, wait, what? So it's kind of like, what was the other one? Oh yeah, Split Paw, in where everything is like a something null. These are the toughness of them is like Vis School. I think it's Vis Wan Zol. Vis Wan Zol. What's after that? Dar, which are huge. Bok and Guck, and the Bok and Guck only spawn in the king room as far as I know. So that's how you can kind of tell how hard they are. Lagging out, man. Won't matter, I'm not really trying to kill anything this time. So yeah, so Zol, this is going to be your highest one. Or not your highest one, but like, you know, this are the lowest. I think Juan is in the middle, Zol is after that, and then it's Jar, I believe. Then the wizards have different names, I think. There's only intelligence casters on the set, so Tals are pretty low, Urds are pretty low. Yes, so keep going down, keep going down. Savant room. So there's one named in here. So this is like, a lot of people clear this for experience, but there's nothing in the spike room. I don't think there's any named here. In fact, I know there's not. So this is the Savant room, and the Savant placeholder is right here. This one group. See, it's blue. It's pretty, you know. These are all green, so it's the highest. Anyway, oh, and Urds are, yeah. So this can be kind of a difficult room to split. There's as many as 5 that aggro when you pull out of here. So, you know, like anything else, as a gnome, I would stand right here and look at my targets through there. So target a Tal. So you can see how its name is flashing. That means I have it targeted, and then you just rest it at it. And then do that for all of them, and then you can hopefully get the Savant single, because you can see it right here. Just pull. That's how I would single that room. All right, so now we're on the, I think the lowest floor, which is, here's a really good room. This is the least people I've seen in Guck ever. This is Sage room. So there's 2 named in Sage, and so the Scribe is up, and I'm not going to kill him because the Scribe doesn't drop anything right now. It later is given, and I think both the items, maybe you can preloot them, or maybe they don't drop, I don't know, is for the Enchanter Epic. You can see it has an Enchanter pet. Yeah, so it spawns right there by the cobweb, and then, so you have one more in this room. Oh, that's it? No, there's one more, Sage, which is, there's a fake wall. There's a lot of fake walls in Guck, kind of a cool old world dungeon thing. So yeah, there's 2 wizards in here, and to be honest, I don't know which of these it is. It always just aggroes through the door. So one of these is the Sage placeholder, and the Sage drops some really good stuff. Sage is one of the best campsites. The +9 intelligence, +5 wisdom. Head, the runed cowl, that's still worth, I don't know, 900 a K. This is the braided cinch cord, which is, both of these are among the best intelligence items for their slot, and they're both worth quite a bit. This is 500 probably. This is about 1,000 or 900, and they both drop from the Sage. Oh yeah, so to split this room, everything aggroes, so like you just got to get lucky with your targets. check out IBU. This is what you can do. You know, I would go in here, click both of them, and if you don't have this key binded already, toggle target is amazing. So like it may not look like it because they have the same name, but you see them targeted back and forth. You know, and just lull as many as you can. And as a Necro specifically, I found that charisma goes a really long way. I used to have this, and I still would in situations where I'm not lulling, but you know, it's -5 charisma, and with a crude stein I get +20. So like the difference between 55 and 75 for critical failures, big difference, huge difference, immediately notice. Because you can get like resist, but then you can get what's called a critical resist, which means if it fails and is a critical fail, everything will aggro. If it just fails, it just didn't work. Anyway, so one more is the Executioner. This is the placeholder right here, the one on the, you know, this bloody table here. What kind of part is this? Here, it's the legs of something. An elf, maybe. Yeah, so there's a lot in this room. There's 5 in this room, and they're blue. This is a difficult room if you, yeah, see, like they're all like level 35 or so. You know, low 30s. There's as many as 6 in this room at one time. Not a super easy split, but this drops the Executioner's hood and the Executioner's axe, which the hood's pretty good. Axe is pretty good too, but there's better. So you know, it's nothing. Neither of those are super valuable. But yeah, right here, Ghoul Executioner. So yeah, same way to split this one. I don't know. Yeah, just go around lulling each one. This one's a wander. Get as many as you can. Alternatively, you can maybe like pull with snare and then all of them come, like just, you know, get a line of sight on this one and then just pull a snare and then run like hell. and then feign death in like, you know, this hallway or something, and then it will come. It won't run away when all the other ones do, because the way snare works, if something is walking, it doesn't move. Same thing if they try to run with snare, they don't move. So that might work, but I would just try the lull if you can. All right, one more room. This is that one Ghoul Knight right here. This one. That is the Ghoul Cavalier. Who drops these, I believe. Adamantite epaulets and something else, obviously. Yeah, so these are actually really good. They're not that expensive because this thing isn't very hard to kill, but it's quite good. 7 wisdom shoulder slot. The thing is, like, good for, it's plate only, so I kind of, you know, really the only people that are going to want this are going to be clerics definitely, and paladins, I guess. Yeah, so cleric paladin. Yeah, there's one wanderer, and then you'd lull both of these, because souls are, you know, they're blue, you know, so there's 3 blues in this room. Like, you know, I could probably do it, but it would be not something you would, you know, want to risk for no reason. Yes, Ghoul Cavalier. Alright, keep coming. No names in here, no names in here. This is always a weird room to me. There's no names here either, but I think this is a safe spot. Maybe not. I could be wrong. I never actually sat here because why would you? Because I'm never in a... I mean, maybe a good place for a group would be this room, where you pull basically the lower floor, or this floor. But yeah, nothing really back here. But here is an important spot. This is Safe Hall. Oh, Palabin. Palabin's corpse? Was he trying to Bone Knight? Palabin is maybe the best Necro on the entire server, I imagine. So it looks like last night he was trying... Was it a woman? It was a woman, but I think he's a man. Was trying to, you know, do his new Bone Knight Necro stuff here in Lower Guk, which obviously at least failed once. So anyway, Safe Hall is... There's no wanderers here. And it looks menacing, but that's, I think, just to, you know, throw you off. Tons of trains in Lower Guk, so I wouldn't necessarily, you know, sit here unaided for a while, but, you know, it's a pretty safe spot, and in my opinion, it's kind of the separation from the really deep stuff, which is this way, and, like, the kind of big stuff, which is this way. And there's one, this is Ritualist, so really the fastest way to get to the lower stuff in Guck, you know, this is bedroom where you popped out of that, so just go left. You know, if you want to run all the way somewhere on a single IVU and say you're somebody that has a potion that can't keep recasting it, you know, it's a pretty dangerous place when you run past this. You can just jump off this cliff right here. I have Dead Man floating, so, you know, I don't take any damage, but it won't kill you. And then here, you're at Safe Hall. You're at Safe Hall in like 5 seconds. Anyway, okay, so, I don't know what the name of this room is, but it's like, it's a pretty substantial 4-way. Safe Hall is this way. Straight across goes to Arch Magus, King, and Hand. To the left is basically nothing. It's called slaves. You know, it's for experience you pull them, but you know, they're just, I don't know, slaves. Maybe that well goes somewhere. I wonder if that well goes to live side. Probably not. Anyway, almost no one comes back here ever. So you can basically ignore that one. So, you know, back at Safe Hall, go right. This takes you to, you know, among the best camps in the game, really. Over all of this, back here, this is called Frenzy. A Frenzied Ghoul. He's not up, is he? No. Yeah, somebody's camping him. People always camp back here. It drops the Flowing Black Silk Sash, which I have gotten. And it's the preeminent haste item in vanilla, anyway. So where that guy is, there'll be 3, kind of where that pet is, straight here, and then here are 3 placeholders. The Frenzy is an 8% spawn at any of those, so you can kind of calculate that as what, a 1 in 24 chance roughly? No, sorry, a 24% chance roughly each spawn. And he drops the, was it the mana Moonstone Ring, which is not great. I can't remember what it is. I mean, it's good for, you know, gear overall and EQ, but really what you want is the Flowing Black Silk Sash. But that's a 1 in 10% chance of dropping it from Frenzy. So you're looking at a, what is that, 2.4% chance of getting a Frenzy each spawn, which is quite low. So really you're looking at like, what, 1 in 40? 1 in, you know, slightly less than 24 times. Yeah, so like 1 in 10 out of 24. So yeah, 2.4% chance of getting an FBSS. But they're worth, God, I mean, they're still worth 7K, and they were worth, you know, 15, you know, 6 months a year ago. Yeah, Frenzy. Very, very good camp. It's always camped because it's so valuable. But you have to wait like an average of 20 hours to get one. These are all slaves. They're nothing. Not nothing, but they see through you because for some weird reason, if you sit next to them, they'll aggro you, which is really annoying because they're really low level. But anyway, so usually you clear them, but it does kill your faction, so I don't know, or just don't sit near them. To break this one, you know, same sort of thing. You lull 2 of them and pull the other one. Kind of a trick for this camp is, you know, you probably want to clear this wizard out here and this wanderer because the Frenzy is, you're getting tougher. Like he's level 40, you know, hits for 110 or something, has 7,000 life. You know, it's like a, you know, pretty significant bite. So, and he's got a ton of life, so he'll probably run. For some reason, even though those are undead, they run, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I usually like to clear, you know, I guess there's 3 wanderers here that you'll want to clear each cycle, but with a 28-minute cycle, it's not that bad. Alright, over this side, so that's Frenzy, and then if you go to the right here, there's one other camp. This is called Sentinel. It's a Sentinel drops. What does he drop? None of these. Oh yeah, Brigandine Tunic and something else. Brigandine Tunic's quite good. So just so you know, these three are not related at all. So Gargoyle Knights are nasty. Gargoyle Knights hit, I think, for 128 and have like twice the life of a Hill Giant, and they will fuck you up. So these three, you can, ooh, yeah, like that could kill me if I got aggro right there. I mean, I could probably feign death, but if it failed, I could very easily die. Anyway, the Gargoyle Knights are nasty. Watch out. You're in Lower Guk. You're in deep Lower Guk here. But really, which one's the Sentinel is this one, which is in this weird fake wall here. So right down the stairs. I think it's right here. Yes, this is the placeholder, and I don't think the other one's aggro. I think he's static. He might wander, but I'm pretty sure he's static. Yeah, so to do Sentinel, you can literally just pull this one. Other than that, you only have to clear those two. So if you're doing Frenzy and you're, high level or, have the resources to do it, you might as well camp them both. Good one. Anyway, okay, so go back. This is all just, random named. Watch out for Dars, man. Dars will fuck you up. And the wizards will too. Like these cores, they last for like 500. They're devastating if they get on you for a while. Luckily, as a Necro, you can interrupt their casting quite a bit, but they're not something to mess around with. All right, back at Safe Hall, straight across, the hardest part of Lower Guk. This takes you to Arch Magus and the Hand. So let's start with the Hand because it's definitely the easiest. I don't think anybody's doing it. So you go through straight through that tunnel, and then it's basically the one on the left. Directly across is Arch Magus, but this is the Hand. Yeah, so he's up, so you kind of got to be careful. There's this tube here, which is like, it's kind of a cool room, but I'm not going to go up there because he will aggro you. He might even aggro you if you just are at the bottom of this. Anyway, so you kind of go up that back there, and then up, and you swim up, and then he's at like above the room up there, which is not underwater. But there's 2 Dars next to it. And so there's 2 Dars in him, and I think he's 100% chance of spawning. So you'll get him every time, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure he's always up. But you got to be able to split those Dars. And he's an enchanter, I believe, or maybe he's a wizard. So if you swim into this tube, everything will aggro you, and you don't want 2 Dars and a caster on you because your Feign Death will fail. So anyway, you would cast. There you go. I don't know, I'm not gonna do it because these can actually resist. You'd split those 2 Dars off, or lull them or whatever, and then let the hand attack you. Yes, and he drops. What is he dropping? A couple things. He drops this, which is certainly good. It's not worth a lot, but good for monks or whatever, or melee classes. But he also drops a ring, which is 75 HP, and I think it's -10 magic resist ring. And that ring is really useful for charming, and giving to a noob or something that isn't gonna deal with a bunch of casters for a while. But it's great to give to anything you charm, because it makes your charm. I think the way it works is it'll make your charm stick longer if you're not an enchanter, which I think that's a charisma check, but at the very least it'll make them resist less. So very useful. So here, the last one, this is among the most popular, and I've literally never seen it open before. He's not up, so I'm not going to do it, but this is Arch Magus. See through. Arch Magus, right here. He's where that Djinn Ghoul Wizard is. So the Arch Magus drops this, the Shining Metallic Robes, which are, incredibly valuable and incredibly good, and really the best thing about it is how cool they look. Definitely one of the coolest items, in the game, really. Coolest looking items. But also, basically this pre-planner, best in slot. And also the legs, too. Drops both of these, which are, there's just not very many good legs in vanilla. So these may not look that good, but that's about as good as you can find. But these are also very valuable. They're like 4K or so, 3K, 3.5. And he drops right here, and he is by far the second hardest thing on Dead Side. Pretty difficult fight for most classes. I mean, once you get it down, Necros can do it, but it's not super easy. Oh yes, and do not forget, of course, there's a wall here with a Dar Ghoul. So, oh yes, somebody's been charming him, gave him a torch. So actually, really, if I was, I wouldn't charm. It's a little more risky on AM. So, this is the door where you came in. So come in here, fear this one first, or if you're an enchanter, I suppose, or even a necro, but I wouldn't do it that way. You can make sure to clear that one and go to the other side. And this is a really annoying. I think there's something down here. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know where this goes, but it's certainly annoying as hell. If you fall down there, you'll get tons of aggro from a lot of things. So do not let your whatever you're killing fall in there. Come on. Lagging out. Yes. This is a safe spot though. You can sit here as long as you don't peep around the corner without invis. You can sit here without invis. Nothing paths this way. This is all clear and you can set up. So honestly, the way I've been doing this to pop it is I would probably lull one of them and charm the other, like the core probably because it's lower level. And so really probably what I would do here is I would lull the gen here, which might take a couple times. So really what I would do is I would sit here, try to lull the gen, and then come in, and this will aggro me immediately when it sees me. So I would actually use Screaming Terror probably to stun it and make it so it wouldn't cast for 500 or 600 on me, and then I would charm it. Then I would charm that one, and I would do target a Dar, and then I would have it attack the Dar around the corner. Bam. That would then aggro both of the Jinn, and then I would have it attack the Jinn, and then have it attack the Dar, and then basically it's a great way to pop placeholders and clear camps, because you can just sit around the corner, and then if charm breaks, just feign death. Yes. So yeah, Arch Magus. The way I actually kill Arch Magus is there's a few ways to do it. You can probably just kill him in the room with a combination of Screaming Terror to interrupt his casting, like Spook the Dead or like Fear as a secondary way to interrupt his casting, and then Root immediately. You maybe want to keep him snared too. But the main thing about Arch Magus is he will fuck you up if you let him cast. He casts for so much and has so much life that if your pet can maybe kill him if he doesn't get casted on at all. But if he gets casted on, your pet just will not live through it, and you can, like, seriously, even with a ton, you can live through like 3 blasts maybe. I have, not necessarily this pre-planner, but pretty close. Like most of my stuff's like good. Like I guess I could have like a Jarn Amethyst ring or something. But pretty close to like the best you're gonna get with that right here. And he will fuck you up if he casts on you a few times. Another way I've been doing it though is, you just plain old fear, which is kind of fun. So get him snared. That's the Arch Magus. Get him snared, and then stick your pet on him and just fear him, and then he'll go this way slowly if he's snared, of course. And then he'll kind of path here. You'll probably want to clear the Wanderer, which I think is a Dar. And then he'll run to about, here or so by the time it wears off. And then if you pull your pet off before the 18 seconds is up, I use Spook the Dead. You can basically just get back here and he'll run back to you. And then he'll come back and aggro. And then you just keep doing that. It's a little riskier probably, maybe, I don't know. It's, that's how I've been doing it. Anyway, that's Arch Magus. one final thing. That is the Ghoul Lord, which is by a wide margin, by far the toughest thing on Dead Side, which makes sense. He's the boss. You know, so here's Arch Magus in the hand. You just keep going. There's a lot of high level things to kill on the way. Trash. Yeah, what's this? A Dar. It's a core. Yeah, Dar. And here we go. Yep, Guck. Yeah. Highest level thing in all of Lower Guk, I think, is that Guck Wizard right there. Oh, there's two of them. Oh, this would be a nightmare to split. So, yeah, yes, so how you kill this as a Necro. Oh yes, there's also one Wanderer too. So the way to kill this as a Necro is very difficult. You can do it as an Enchanter too, which is slightly easier, just because you have Slow and Tash, but you pretty much have to Charm. It might be possible to do it without it, but he has 11,000 life, the Lord does. And he's level 47. Weirdly, the Guck Ghoul Wizards, of which there are 2 up, are level 49. And they blast for like 7. They ice comment you. And you know, they're in many ways almost as hard as the Lord in general. That's the Guck Ghoul Wizard on the throne is obviously the placeholder. So the way to clear this, maybe I'll even do it. So there's that one wandering Dar that just wandered here, and then there's the one that sits on the other side of this wall, and then there's the 3 inside. And at minimum, you need to clear those. Really, like the one time so far that I was actually able to clear it, I had these 2 cleared too, and it's really good that I did because the Guck Lord has so much life that he can run a really long distance when he's just fleeing. So, really, I need Harm Shield for this. I don't even want to try it. I'm not going to. Just because I don't have Harm Shield up, and if my FD fails, I will die. So, that's one of my biggest pieces of advice too. Have Harm Shield up. Harm Shield is one of the best spells that like people don't use very much. It's got a 10-minute cooldown, but basically it makes you invulnerable for, I think it's either 2 or 3 ticks. So this is how I would do this. The way I've been doing it is, so you want to take the Wanderer, charm him, and he'll come back. He paths all the way back to basically that room, past hand and AM. You charm him, and then you basically run him. Then you take that Guck Ghoul Wizard there. This one. So you would charm it and just send him into his death. Just pet attack Guck Ghoul Wizard. Then he will get obliterated and pop. I mean, if you want the experience, you can like do it slower, but really you're going to be fighting respawn on these a lot of times. You could have him like fight this core Ghoul Wizard by himself, or whatever. But you know, basically the quickest way to do it, just send him into his death. Do that. He'll pick off all 4 of those and they will die. You really have to monitor his life, because usually what I do is I'll stand right here, and the second that he dies, I will feign him. Then do the same thing with this one, although in order to actually get so you don't need line of sight to do your lull, but you need line of sight to charm. So basically what I would do is I would stand here, and these are high level and it'll fail, and because your charisma is low as a Necro in general, so like you lull him, and then when you finally get a lull to stick, like if it gets a critical resist, you have to feign death, and that's why you need Harm Shield, because if your feign death fails, you will die, pretty much 100% without Harm Shield. So then do that, wait for the lull to stick, then stand here, break your IBU with a charm. He won't aggro you because he's lulled. Then just go back again, and then have him attack the Guck Ghoul Wizard. Pop that one. Same thing. And then you would essentially do the same thing. Luckily, it gets slightly easier You can sit here and, God, this one's tough because these are level 49 and your charms don't really stick very well. But that's what you would have to do, is you would take the Guck Wizard and charm it and have it attack the other two. And then hopefully it lasts long enough that they actually poof him. And then, so say the Ghoul Lord is up. Well, actually, the way I would do this situation is like, if you want to pop the placeholder, if you want to kill the placeholder, just charm that one, and have the other two attack it. Kind of a frustrating thing is, like in, so frustratingly, if you try to charm this guy, you for some reason, rather than aggroing the one that you charm, sometimes, and maybe like every time, they'll actually aggro you. So really, to be safe, is I would talk, because you absolutely do not want the wizards on you. So I would toggle between the two wizards like this. Okay, see how the target's going back and forth between the wizards? Charm the one in the middle and immediately have it attack this wizard. And really what you should do is, assuming that one's dead, is the box are lower-ish, they're like level 45 or something, lull the Bach and just make sure that nothing comes at you, because if something comes at you, you're likely to die, because this is really high level back here. So then once you do that, you'll have just two. You'll have, just the Bach up, and I would definitely keep the Bach, because what you're going to do is charm to kill them. And you can see this one, somebody's already been doing it because he has a torch, which forces him to dual wield, which makes him do more damage. Say the Ghoul Lord is up, and it's just the one. Charm that immediately and have him attack the Lord, and make sure you haste him. In fact, you can even do that ahead of time. Like what I'll do sometimes is, like, I'll give him this torch, and sometimes if I have it, I'll give the minus magic resist ring that drops from the hand. That's why a lot of enchanters do that. That way, because the thing is, what you have to basically do is charm and hope to God that it lasts long enough for the Lord to kill the thing that you charmed, and the Lord will be at 20%. There's another one, the box are lower, and then there's a Guck Ghoul Knight. I actually like the box a little more because recharming, just because shit hits so hard and they have so much life here, and you only have one stun and a root that almost never lasts very long. I actually prefer the box over the Guck Ghoul Knights, even though the Gucks do more damage. Yeah, you can also do it. I think the one that I actually have recorded, I have both of these up, and what I did is I lulled the Bach and then charmed the other one, had him kill the Lord until the Lord popped it, kept the Lord rooted, and then went over and charmed the second Bach, which is a tall order, and you just have to get lucky and hope your charms don't break quickly, or break at the wrong time, or that your root holds, that sort of thing. This is a tough camp.
Don't break. No! That is why you fucking... Shit. Come on. Come on. Come on. Please just hold for a couple more seconds.
In my opinion, and I think most would agree, that this is the hardest thing in the game that a Necro can solo. I mean, hopefully that's not hyperbole, but as far as I know, that you can split and solo. Like, there's probably harder things that you could kill if somebody else split the room for you, but, you know, it's just a hard kill. And that's Lower Guk. That's dead side Lower Guk. That's about everything I know to say about it. Yeah, fun place. Loot's just exceptional.